Greetings to everyone. In this video, I'm going to introduce you the atomic and molecular structure. Before discussing the structure of atom and molecule, one should understand what the word atom means. The word atom derived from a Greek word atomio, which means uncuttable or non-divisible. These earlier ideas were mere speculations and there was no way to test them experimentally. And Dalton's atomic theory assumed that the atoms of the elements were indivisible and no particle smaller than an atom existed. But various modern atomic theories were proposed earlier, and these modern atomic theories established that atom can be further divided into subatomic particles like electron, proton, and neutron. Once the electron, proton, and neutron were discovered, then there are various models proposed how the atomic structure will be, and there are various theories like plum pudding model and modern Rutherford proposed a theory, and there are a lot of drawbacks. And now we are following most accepted atomic model, which is nucleus at the center and the electrons revolve around the nucleus in a particular stationary orbits and with a constant energy. And then de Broglie proposed a dual nature for the electron, that is wave and particle nature. He related that with an expression that delta is equal to h by mv, where delta is the wavelength, m is the mass of an electron, and v is the velocity. And this equation implies that a particle in motion cannot be treated as a wave, and can be treated as a wave, and wave can exhibit the properties of a particle. De Broglie's equation has no significance for particles of larger mass, since the lambda value will be very small, which can't be measured by any instrument. The small body masses will give lambda value, which can be measured experimentally, and de Broglie's relation has no significance for macroscopic objects like atoms, molecules, and compounds. Classical mechanics successfully describes the motion of all macroscopic objects which have a particle-like behavior, and it ignores the concept of dual nature of the matter. However, the quantum mechanics deals with the dual nature of the matter of microscopic objects like electron, atom, and molecule. Let's discuss the basic differences between the classical mechanics and the quantum mechanics. As I told, this classical mechanics deals with the macroscopic particles and it just ignores the dual nature of the matter. And whereas the quantum mechanics deals with the microscopic particles, and these classical mechanics are purely based on Newton's laws, and this is based on the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, de Broglie's nature, dual nature, and then Schrodinger wave equation. And here, the light or electron considered as a standing wave in case of classical mechanics. Whereas in quantum mechanics, we consider the electron or light as wave and particle nature. And when energy is supplied to a matter, in case of classical mechanics, the electron can be removed. But it does not discuss about how much energy needs to be supplied, but just simply it states that when energy is supplied, the electron can be easily removed. But according to quantum mechanics, when energy is supplied, which is equal to the threshold energy, then only the electron can be removed. And the classical mechanics fails to explain the stability of the atom, but quantum mechanics did. The state of the system is defined by specifying all the forces acting on the particle as well as their position and velocity as per the classical mechanics, but it gives the probability of finding an electron in a specified place. Let's start our topic, which is atomic orbitals. The atomic orbitals are the three-dimensional region around the nucleus where the probability of finding an electron is maximum. And in order to get the concept of atomic orbitals, we consider the solutions of the Schrodinger wave equation. The solutions of the Schrodinger wave equation gives the possible energy levels of the different atomic orbitals. And the Schrodinger wave equation is this, where dou square psi by dx square plus dou square psi by dy square dou square psi by dz square plus 8 pi square m by h square into e minus v psi is equal to 0, where m is a mass and v is the potential energy, e is the total energy, and h is the Planck's constant. The Schrodinger wave equation can be solved by transforming Cartesian coordinates into spherical coordinates, that is r, theta, and phi. The resultant equation is this. And here, the important features of quantum mechanics of a model of the atom should be known. The energy of an electron in an atom is quantized. The existence of quantized electronic energy levels is a direct result of wave-like properties. The path of the electron can't be determined accurately. Therefore, we find only the probability of finding an electron at different points in the space around the nucleus. The probability of finding an electron at a point within an atom is proportional to the square of its wave function, which is given as psi square, and psi square is known as probability density and is always positive. And one everyone knows that the psi does not have any significance, physical significance, but psi square gives the information about the probability of finding an electron. The solutions of Schrodinger wave equation obtained in terms of r, theta, and phi are accepted only when it obeys few rules. That is, n value should be 1, 2, 3, and L should be 0, 1, 2, and so on to n minus 1, and M should be minus L to plus L. If these rules are satisfied, then the solutions of the Schrodinger wave equation can be obeyed. Let's discuss the shapes of atomic orbitals. And before that, one should know what is the basic difference between the orbit and orbitals. Orbit is a fixed circular path described by moving an electron around the nucleus. Orbital is a three-dimensional space around the nucleus where the probability of finding an electron is more. Let's start with the shapes of s orbital. And here the s orbitals have a symmetry which is spherical in shape, because this wave function of s orbitals depends on only radial coordinate, and it is independent of theta and phi, which are angular coordinates, and hence it has a shape of spherical. And for s orbital, L value is 0, M value is 0, N can be 1, 2, 3, and so on. And as we move on from nucleus to away from the nucleus, the N value increases. If this represents 1s, and 2s can be represented like this. This is 1s and then it is 2s. And there will be some nodal plane in between 1s and 2s. But for 1s orbital, there is no radial node. But for 3s, it is 2 nodal planes will be there. For 4s, it will be 3 radial nodes, where the probability of finding an electron is 0. And for in case of p orbitals have directional character because they are dependent on theta and phi also. And the L value for p orbital is 1. and M value can be plus 1, 0 and minus 1. So as there are 3 M values, there are 3 sub p atomic orbitals, that is px, py and pz. And the probability of finding an electron results in the shape of this. This is dumbbell along that particular axis. If I named it as 2px, the probability of finding an electron is maximum on the x-axis, and the nodal plane will be along the y and z axis, like this. In this plane, it's a plane. And 2py, it is 2py, and the probability of finding an electron is maximum in this plane, and the nodal plane will be in this direction, like this. And obviously 2pz also have a nodal plane in this direction. And the shapes of d orbitals. D orbitals L value is 2, M can be minus 2 to plus 2. So there are 5 possible M values. So hence the d orbitals will have 5 d orbitals, that is dxy sub d atomic orbitals, that is dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square y square and dz square. Except dz square, all will have the double dumbbell shape, and this dz square will have donut shape. And they are classified into 2 categories, that is axial and non-axial. Axial means these 2, dx square, y square and dz square. Non-axial means which lies in between the axis, that is dxy, dyz and dxz. The molecular orbitals are the resulted by overlapping of the atomic orbitals, and we can define it as the space, the three-dimensional space around the nuclei of bonded atoms where the probability of finding an electron is maximum. And if you talk about the atomic orbitals, they're specified to one atom only, but the molecular orbital, they are specified to two different, means how many number of whatever the molecules atoms involved in the bonding, they belongs to that particular atoms, and they are internal characteristic of the atom, and whereas these are the resultant of the atomic orbitals of similar energy that are combined. And the atomic orbitals simply have simple shapes like spherical, dumbbell or dumbbell, whereas molecular orbitals will have a complicated structure, and they are denoted as SPADF, and they are denoted as pi, delta, sigma, based on what type of atomic orbitals combined. And the stabilities of these atomic orbitals are less than bonding molecular orbit, more than the bonding molecular orbitals and less than the antibonding molecular orbitals. The atomic orbitals are monocentric, whereas the molecular orbitals are polycentric. And I will discuss the different theories in order to explain the formation of molecular orbitals in next videos. Please do watch. Have a nice day. Thank you.